Hey everybody, Logan here, and yes, it has been, well, as of recording, a few days since Final Fantasy XVI has come out. This seems to be a contender for Game of the Year. I think it's really going to come down between this and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There's really nothing else that looks to be coming out this year that could really be a contender. Some people might argue saying Spider-Man 2 might be. We'll see. Maybe Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's a possibility. But as of right now, it really looks like it's going to be a dead heat between Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Final Fantasy XVI. So, I decided, hey, I actually wasn't going to do a box opening for this, and, well, I didn't. But we are going to take a look at it. And that is the Final Fantasy XVI Deluxe Edition. Now, I was able to pre-order mine at GameStop. They did give me a little extra, and we'll go over that. But after opening this and thinking about the price, was it worth it? How much of a Final Fantasy fan are you to have spent $100 US? This is $99.99 US for what comes in here. Not 100% sure. I'm going to tell you my thoughts. Wonder if you can tell by my face. Okay, shut up. Let's look at what's in here, and I'll give you my thoughts. Alrighty, so here we go. This is the Final Fantasy XVI Deluxe Edition, only for the PlayStation 5. I like how the front of the box has a matte feel, and this is like embossed, so you can actually feel the texture of the artwork. That's kind of nice. It's glossy, gives it a nice contrast. The box itself, I always look at everything when it comes to these special editions, even the outer box, to determine whether or not it really is worth the money that you're spending on. I prefer when these boxes are usually a hard cardboard or hard plastic or something like that. This is still standard cardboard, but yes, it has a more premium feel on the outside. I do like the edge, how it says 16 there. It tells you what it comes with: special Clive Rosefield steelbook case, cloth world map of Valisthea. So, fate is written in fire, break your bonds, embrace Clive's iconic power, I see what they did, and summon your destiny. Some people say that this game just isn't that good because I don't know why. It's not your typical Final Fantasy. No, it's not a JRPG in any form or fashion like we've known them. It is Devil May Cry, because even one of the guys who worked on Devil May Cry worked on this, with some RPG elements in terms of character combat, upgrades, weapon and armor and stuff like that. It's got all that which you would use to upgrade your character and your abilities. And so it's still an RPG. It's definitely an action RPG, as it says dynamic action RPG. It's not a JRPG. They don't put it on there. People are like, oh, but if it comes from Japan, it's a JRPG. No. JRPGs are normally associated with turn-based or more classic-style combat from more traditional-style Japanese role-playing games. This one does not. This takes a lot of influence from Western-style RPGs. So, it doesn't make it bad. Not in any way. I prefer classic JRPGs, such as the older Final Fantasies that are turn-based. That's just me. But I do like Devil May Cry. So, here, let's put this aside. Now, that steelbook is nice. One thing I'll never understand about steelbooks is you open them up, and this was the GameStop exclusive, but we'll get to that. You have a thing for the case. So what are you going to do? You're going to take the game out and put it in here? Why don't they give you something extra to put in here? Like a soundtrack or behind the scenes or a making of, something like that for a reason to use this, because most people just keep these cases and put them back in the box and go, oh, that's kind of cool. That's all I've ever done. And if a game has a special edition that only comes, the only difference is a steelbook and it's like $10 more, I hard pass. Because it needs to come with something else, because if the game comes like this, what's the point? Because you're just going to keep it in the box and you'll never see it. It's just, I don't know. So one thing that's cool about this, it does have a reversible cover. I'm going to put that over there, out of the way. Comes with the papers that they always do. As you can see, it has a reversible cover. Now, the one thing that we didn't get here that I kind of wish we did, on a lot of the other Final Fantasy games, it says Final Fantasy XVI and then has the Japanese kanji print down at the bottom saying the same thing. I missed that here. So that's the big reason I didn't flip this over. As you can see, we don't get it here at all. Now, one thing people are complaining about this game, which I do not have a problem, and it kind of makes sense because this is a game that's based in a mythical, classic European, kind of Britain style of country, I guess you can say. And everything in this game, all the voice acting is English, default English. So if you put it in Japanese or something, the words don't match the lips. They didn't go and do the lip syncing, and a lot of people are complaining about that. Me, I don't have a problem with that because I understand they intended a Japanese audience to either have it dubbed or subtitled. Understandable. So that's just what they chose. Now, this is the mat. So as you can see, there's nothing else in the box. So we'll put these over here. I know I already have a mat here, so we're going to take this out. How about we look at these real quick? So these are patches. So usually, if you have the military style backpack or vest or something like a rucksack or whatnot, these can go on there depending on what you have. It's funny that they don't have the... I think it's just an adhesive. I haven't taken it off, but they're designed to go on all kinds, and you've got the different factions and whatnot. So that's kind of cool. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Depending on who you rep, there you go. And these were free with pre-order. So I don't know if it was just the Deluxe Edition pre-order or pre-ordering the game at all. I think it was just pre-ordering the game. It's pretty cool. I just keep this in the tin because I don't have anything to use this yet. I'm actually going to be getting myself a new rucksack. If you know what that is, rucksack. It's a weighted vest, a weighted pack. So when you go walking for long miles, it just adds weight to you and helps all that other good stuff. Makes you stronger. So I've been doing that for a few years now. So here is the map. There you go. Isn't that pretty cool? Let's see if we can zoom out a little and show you the whole thing. There you go. So, as you can see, it's a map. It's written, for the most part, in the language of the game. So you can't really read it. Now, my buddy Alex, he used his as, oh no, it's Alex, different Alex. He used his as a placemat in his home entertainment system because he was thinking about putting it in a frame just as I was. We were talking about it. I actually think I'm going to do that. He was like, oh, the print's a little small, so if you hang it, can you really see any of it? I'm like, good point. But where he has it in the entertainment unit, it looks nice, but if you're going to read it or anything, you have to look into it. But really, what are you going to read? But I think this is a very nice mat, or cloth map, whatever you want to call it. I am going to, like I said, because I do like this, and some people say, why would you do that? Then if you go to resell I'm not reselling it. I think it would be cool to put in a frame and then hang in my game room here, which I still have a little bit of wall space left. So now Going to get to the nitty-gritty of this. Like I said, is it worth $100? Are you a fan? How big of a fan are you of Final Fantasy? Now, another thing is with Final Fantasy, everyone is different, correct? Every game is different. Not everybody loves every Final Fantasy game. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy VIII. People will argue with me and give their opinion, and I really don't care because it's my favorite game. I love Final Fantasy X. People thought Titus, or they call him Titus. I think it's Titus. And they're like, hey, hey, hey. They're laughing. I'm like, I really like the game. I don't care. I wasn't a big fan of 15. It was a good game, but I wasn't a big fan. The characters didn't draw me. And that is one thing I'm kind of worried about this game. Playing through the demo, I think the game looks great. And after watching some behind the scenes and some interviews and stuff, I now understand why they went with the darker art style. And that was one thing that really got me at the beginning. The colors didn't pop in the game. Where if you're looking at Final Fantasy 15 or even 7 Intergrade, the remake and whatnot, there's a variety of colors. Some areas it pops, everything's bright and vibrant. Other ones, they're kind of dark. This whole game is very dark. But that's okay. And it's its art style, it's the direction they went with. Doesn't bother me. At first it did, but once I understand what they were going for and how they were going about it, I'm completely fine with that. Now, are you? So, all these things, you're like, why are you telling me all this? Because if you're still debating on whether or not you should pick this one up, from my understanding, they're still available online. Some GameStop still have them. I do know that retro game stores, some of them, game stores in my area still have them. So yeah, it's really not that hard to come across them, but they will be. So if you're watching this, depending on when you're watching it, it might already be sold out. You might not be able to get it, or you might find it on a resale or on eBay. Do you really want to spend that money? This is going to show you what it is. In my opinion, after playing the game for a few hours, after watching interviews, watching all this about how it was made, why decisions were made to make this game. And as someone who really loves the Final Fantasy series, but with the last few, minus the online games, being a little mixed in my opinion. Is this worth it? It really comes down to your personal preference. That's why I decided to show it to you. As you can see, I think it was. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. I like my Final Fantasy games. I like to have the collector's editions. I like to have deluxe editions. Whatever I can get. I can't always get the big boy deluxe ultra old mega versions with the statues and whatnot. I do regret not picking up the Final Fantasy VII remake with Cloud on the motorcycle. That I regret not picking up, but it was really pricey at the time, and I chose to save the money. Now, in retrospect, I wish I had bought it. So, hey, hindsight's 20/20. But is this one worth $100? The game's $70, right? It's a $70 game. So you're paying $30 more for the tin and the map. That's it. That's all I can really say about it. Again, like I said, I spent it. I thought it was worth it. But now it's up to you to decide whether or not. One thing I do like is a little faint blue line. Don't know if you can see it. Can't really tell on a regular PlayStation box, but that's kind of cool. So, there you go. Hopefully, showing you what's in here, giving you my opinion about why it was made, why it was done, the quality, a closer look. Just, yeah, I've gone on long enough. Let me stop. I think it's worth it if you are a die-hard Final Fantasy fan. Otherwise, I'd say pick up the game. Just pick up the game by itself. If you haven't gotten into Final Fantasy yet, or if you haven't gotten into the series before because you didn't like turn-based, maybe now is the time. Maybe now is the time. Because we know 15 wasn't turn-based. It was action. I don't know. It felt more like Final Fantasy 15. I mean 14, sorry, online, with that kind of combat. But that's a whole nother topic to delve into. So there you go. Like I said, if you don't think, personally, if you don't think this is worth it, give the game a shot. Play the demo, if anything. Maybe you'll like it. There you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. There we go. That's what I meant to say. And again, turn that bell on for notifications so you know whenever we put out new content, and especially new episodes of Ready to Start podcast. I know it's been a little bit. We're working on scheduling and stuff since I got sick. A couple of other people, the guys, and well, Josie as well, lady on the channel, on the podcast have all had a few issues. But hey, we'll get back into the swing of things very soon. So make sure you turn that bell on for notifications. Thank you guys so much, and like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.